What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Tuesday, December 14th, 2021. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. I appreciate you all so much. I do hope that your week's off to a great start. We're definitely in this interesting territory, today and tomorrow with this Mars in Sagittarius, definitely trying to progress forward with beliefs and the adventure and the story that we're trying to create for ourselves. But with the South Node, we can definitely be at detriment in some ways of going into the past, going into illusions in life. Remember, the South Node is K2 in Vedic astrology, and it is the dragon's tail, the body. It has no head. There's no life. It is this illusion, if you will. So there's nothing in the past for us right now, and that's the very interesting part of where we're at, is we're really in a time of trying to progress forward, and we don't want to get too stuck going into old stories, old narratives, old beliefs. Anything that we can do to move forward in our story with this Mars, and to be powerful, and to look at the environment of the situation in opposition to that North Node, and to look at the truth and the individual part of it and the subjectivity of it, is very helpful relative to each and every one of us. Now, the moon is going to be in Taurus today, and of course this is having us, move forward. Yes, practically though. Move forward, but move forward very practically, very grounded. Use your senses. What do things feel like, smell like, taste like? What's the story that you really want to hold on to and have? And not the illusion of what is not showing up or not there or not expansive in your life. Like, if you're just trying to go about a story that's constricting you, this is where we got to be able to pivot and adapt to something different, something better, something of the greatness. And that's kind of what this moon in Taurus can show us. However, this moon in Taurus is, going to finish off the day with a square to Saturn, and meet with Uranus. But first of all, it's going to trine over to Mercury, and the sun's at 23 degrees of Sag. So we do have this sun at a very high degree of, this mercurial degree of 25, making a 5, very hermetic in the middle. Like, we do want to be, I think, a little balanced out within our mind, and Mercury in Capricorn now is definitely looking to make, smart, practical decisions and have good understandings, and to kind of, realize our mental authority and realize that power in what we ultimately very much want. And I think that this is where we can be sort of in the beginning of today, like, as long as we're able to, look into where we're going in the forward progression, which can be even more difficult with Venus, which is coming to 26 degrees today, and Venus is going to stop there at 26. So there is energy within our values right now that is at this standstill moment. So we have to really use our mind and feel into our emotions and make, decisions based on the fact of the matter, which is this North Node, and that Mercury is disposited by that North Node in Gemini. So these big sort of smart, practical, authoritative, decisions are deep, but they're deep for the practical change in your environment that is based on the common sense of what's going to bring you value in life and what is just an illusion. So we do want to, really ground out in what really does feel the best, and maybe ask those questions to ourselves today, because we almost have to have this authority and this responsibility, as the moon will square Saturn in the evening. And that's not like an easy transit by any means, but it is a strong moon, a strong Saturn. So, if there's any moon that's going to square Saturn, it might as well be a Taurus moon, because at least we can hold our ground at this time. But we also want to embrace the conjunction with Uranus, and it is about your uniqueness and your unique beauty, your unique capacity right now, and sort of this amazing genius that you have. And if you can realize that genius and dedicate to that genius, especially with a Saturn in Aquarius, it's like, these are some of the big decisions that are so important, that are the pivot, that are the things that need the change, that really can help us adapt and then find strength and courage on this journey to progress forward with a good understanding, with a good hermetic sense of, like, weighing out the proper things in life. Especially as Venus is about to go retrograde, like, we could be weighing out a lot of things internally, and a lot of these transformations with Pluto, and a lot of, like, where are these deeper passions and these deeper meanings and the whys of life? Like, why do I not love myself enough to believe that I can achieve something different or out of the ordinary with a moon Uranus today, And I think the more honest we are with ourselves and come to smart conclusions about really, the changes that do need to be made to have more physical beauty, more physical substance that we're looking for out of this reality, because we do live in a physical reality. And of course we want to have our spiritual substance. Like, that's always, I wouldn't say it's most important, but to me, maybe it's most important. To you, it might be something else, but having a good balance between that spiritual substance and then how to create from that essence into a physical form would be, to me today, something that could be extremely helpful. And being willing to go through change, being willing to like be a boss for the transformation you want to see, could be very helpful. Now, the sun coming to 23 is definitely going to be getting close to that that sextile over to Jupiter in Aquarius. And that's a great aspect that's building, especially with the sun in Sagittarius, definitely trying to have us explore different options. Maybe we're trying to learn more, but I think it's about learning more about the insights we need to innovate in our lives right now and how we can expand based on innovation. But it's almost like, we can't just believe in these things. Like, we got to kind of like, be willing to juggle around the things that we want to try and give it a shot, but give it a shot for what's practical and not just anything, which I think is the kind of moment we're in of like, oh gosh, like, I do want to believe, I do want to see these stories, but we have to get North Node Gemini with it too, and not just do things or be scared of sort of a change in life. It's definitely, there's some solid mutable energy with the nodes and the sun and Mars coming into Sag. And even Black Moon Lilith at 5 degrees, and Mars is going to start, making oppositions to that Black Moon Lilith. We don't want to be scared or, fearful of change, because the change is the expanse. And if we think that we just do the same thing over and over again, we're actually shrinking and contracting things that don't need to be, contracted anymore. We want to contract the new and how we can open that up, because we have to, realize that we can do that. And I think a Taurus moon is beautiful for realizing that, we can really do these, but it's based on decisions in our personal life of like taking authority for what is unique, and what that uniqueness is the expansion, especially with Jupiter in Aquarius. Like, the uniqueness is the expansion. And being willing to transform aspects in our life will be very helpful as well. But I think today's a very positive day when it comes to our mind and our emotions getting on a very grounded page together. Being like, yes, this actually will feel good in my life, and I can actually change this in my environment. And I have a plan of how I can at least go about the beginning stages of this without getting too committed, I suppose. We're in a stage 2 where, yes, we want to commit to things, but we have to also be very open to what the universe tries to show us. And instead of just believing we can power through anything, it's like, well, if the universe is showing that we need to make a different change or pivot, like we want to be willing to do such and not just like fight, something really beautiful. Because I do think we're all at a place right now where we're starting to unlock great potential in, how to attract beauty into our life, how to achieve the things that are going to bring the most abundance and the most love into our life. But we are in a time of, like, definitely, there's no question about it, changes have to be made. And I think today gives us a good understanding of how to be grounded in that change and to not fight it too much, but to be adaptable for your story and for the beautiful life that you want to have and the beautiful day that you want to have. I like this energy, but it's a little serious with the moon finishing up square Saturn and Uranus in square and a moon Saturn. It definitely feels like there's unpredictable, sort of physical aspects coming to our personal life that are demanding that we make responsible but individuated, very unique changes that are special to each and every one of us. So I don't, want to say it's one thing for anybody. I feel like we all have little things that just need this tweak to throw us up higher. But it's like we also have to have that authority to make whatever shift that might be, and to not get stuck in old stories, because that would be a detriment to us when we want to penetrate into the new story. We are in, of course, an eclipse, new moon energy, that solar eclipse in Sagittarius. There are amazing stories out there. We just have to kind of, I would say Mercury even with the trine to the moon and Mercury in Capricorn, like we're kind of at this point now where I think we're ready to put the pen to the page of the story we're trying to write, but it's different than the other one. So we just want to have the confidence to write the new story and not get lost in the old one. I do hope you all have a great day. Card for the day is the Devil card reversed. Yes. I'm actually stoked we got that card because this is where we break chains. This is where we stop doing the old story that's constricting us or holding us back or keeping us binded to so much of a physical essence of what we don't want anymore, what we don't need anymore in our life. We don't need to be obsessed with that anymore. So we're kind of turning a corner here, and that turning that corner is this sort of freedom. But we can't get to that freedom unless we're willing to do something, change something, shift something. Or even just as simple as literally, maybe it is for some people, actually putting that pen to paper and writing out the next step in the plan or in the journey of where things are going that is really cutting chains and, taking the shackles off in many ways of a reality or a life that is no longer serving the greatest potential and the greatest empowerment of each and every individual. I love you all very much. I hope you have a beautiful Tuesday. I will see you all for tomorrow's horoscope. Much love. Peace.